Good morning. I hope you're having a good weekend. I just wanted to take a few minutes this morning and share with you some thoughts about heaven. Yesterday would have been my sister Jeannie's birthday. Her birthday was a week after mine, and even though she was 2 years older, I always would say that I was older because my birthday came first. Well, yesterday morning, I got up and of course I was thinking about the fact that normally I would have been sending her a text or calling her as I was getting in the car and headed to work, but I turned on the radio and the song that was playing was Holes in the Floors of Heaven. If you don't know that song, it's a song that is a real tearjerker kind of song, but it's a song that talks about a young boy, not quite 8 years old. His mother passes away. His grandmother passes away. And then it talks about his comfort when it starts raining, because he's told that the rain is tears coming down from heaven. There are holes in the floors of heaven. He goes on to get married, and at some point his wife passes away, and then their daughter gets married at the age of 23, and he's missing her mother. And so the song just continues to remind of the fact that there's holes in the floors of heaven. Tears are falling down. It's a song that we can't base our theology about heaven on. It's a song that's not completely accurate when it comes to heaven. But it's a song that, for me, yesterday morning reminded me of the very, very important connection that we have with those of our loved ones, those fellow Christians who have gone on to heaven. Because you see, I do believe, as Hebrews tells us, that we're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses. I believe people in heaven are cheering us on as we go through life. I may be wrong on that. I don't know. But what I do know that I'm not wrong on is that there is a heaven and there is a God who is absolutely in control. I don't believe that rain is tears from heaven, but I do believe that heaven is a real place. You know, we often talk about people who have died as somebody that we've lost. And there is a very real sense of loss that we can't ignore. But the reality is, you haven't lost something if you know where it is. We haven't lost someone when we know where they are. So I was reminded yesterday of that connection, but I was also reminded of the fact that Philippians chapter 3, verse 20 tells us that we are citizens of heaven. It also goes on to say that from heaven, and this is a paraphrase, we're eagerly awaiting the return of our Savior. There's a reminder that our real home is in heaven. We're citizens of heaven. Today is National Constitution Day for us Americans. 235 years ago, our Constitution was signed. Because of that, we have great freedom. It is a document that is unparalleled in the history of the world. But we have a greater Constitution, and that is the Bible. That Bible gives us a promise of heaven. That Bible gives us hope for all eternity. You know, I've reached the age in my life and through events in my life that many of the people that I have been the closest to in my life, if you're listening to this now, don't think I'm saying I'm not close to you. I love you, I appreciate you, but many of the people that I've been the closest to, my grandparents, almost all of my aunts and uncles, good friends, friends that were like family, a sister. There's so many people that I've been close to whose addresses are no longer Mississippi or Louisiana, but whose addresses are on streets of gold in heaven. We ought to be excited to be American citizens, but we really ought to be excited to be citizens of heaven, because that is our real home. And that's something to celebrate. Today, let's remember the promise of heaven. Let's be excited about that reunion with family members, but let's really be excited about the fact that that is where our Savior is. And He's made it possible for us to be with Him through all of eternity. I hope you'll think about heaven today. I hope you'll be comforted. We've all lost people. There I go saying the word. We've all seen our loved ones, our friends, go on to heaven. Let's celebrate that hope that made all the difference for them and that makes all the difference for us. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope God blesses you in everything you do and protects you and keeps you strong. Have a great day.